moly. Holy freaking guacamole. This is so much worse than anything I could have possibly imagined. I told you all from day one, as soon as this miracle news story broke about Rudy being found after missing for 8 years, I told you all that something was wrong. But I could not prepare myself for the news that broke today. I was not ready for this. I did not think that it could possibly be this bad. I've been on the road all day, headed to Atlanta. I finally arrived safely, but I have been keeping up with the story the entire time. Yes, I saw the press conference, and I'm not going to lie, it made me emotional. Probably because the dude who, I guess, interviewed Rudy and got Rudy to open up, he was getting really emotional. And the details were just like something straight out of a horror movie. I'm at a loss for words. I can't even describe for you what has happened to Rudy over the years. I can't even describe it. YouTube would not even allow me to use the words that I want to use right now. I couldn't even describe what happened to Rudy for you all because YouTube would not allow me. That's how bad it is. But for those of you all who maybe didn't see the press conference, we're about to check it out. It's kind of long, but please listen to every single last detail because this story is far from over. Go ahead and make yourself familiar with all the details surrounding this case because it looks as if even everything that was revealed is not enough, which is, it's heartbreaking. It honestly pisses me off. But while you're here, hit the thumbs up button, drop a comment. We're going to watch this press conference. It's long. Listen to every last bit of it. Even if you've watched it already, make sure you take notes. After the press conference is over, I'll be back with a few more thoughts, and I'll try to control myself from using bad words. Let's go ahead and check out the press conference.
What are the conversations like?
Let me first apologize for my appearance. I received an emergency phone call to get over here for this meeting with the detectives, and Rudy's mother and Rudy. And so I dropped everything I was doing and made it as fast as I possibly could. And I spent about an hour and 20 minutes one-on-one with Rudy and with one of the detectives. I heard horrific things from that young man. And I did not want him to see me start shedding tears, but I couldn't hold back the tears because of the things he was saying to us, the detective and myself. No child should ever be treated like that by your own mother. This young man said that when he initially ran away, he came back 2 days later, and she told him that he had to hide, that he was going to get in trouble, and they were going to arrest him for running away, and that he had to continue hiding. And so she hid him out for a while, then brought him back to the house and hid him in the home. And initially, whenever the investigators would come, she would hide him in the house. And he kept saying, I don't want her to go to prison. I don't want her to get in trouble. I don't want her to go to jail. And so we asked him, why did you run away? And he said he just got tired of her not respecting his boundaries. And she said that he wanted his own life. And his exact word was, I was tired of living like a slave. She would take him to work with her, and he would do the required work she was supposed to do. And a lot of the responsibilities of her job was on him. And he went on to say that what troubled him the most was her crossing his personal space boundaries. He said that she would make him sleep in the bed with her. And he said that she made him play daddy. He said that he didn't like getting in the bed with her. That he would try to sneak out of the bed and sometime hide under the bed, but she told him he had to be her husband. That's a damn shame, man. A little boy said she was the one providing drugs to him for years. Hallucination drugs, mushrooms, etc. And that the reason why he was left, he was just tired of her crossing his boundaries. When he would shower, she would come and pull the shower curtain back and stare at him, and then she would make him bathe her with the soap. And he ran away this time because he was tired.
Well, now, you've been doing this for many years. How emotional has today been with this case?
It's a goddamn shame. I ain't never in my life heard of a mother doing to a child what this woman did.
Were you at all there when the mother was questioned?
Yes.
And what was her reaction when
Yes.
you talked to her?
And I knew something was wrong with the story. When she was questioned, when they found him, he had her credit card in his pocket. She just canceled that credit card 2.5 years ago. So if he's been missing for 8 years, how the hell he get your credit card in his pocket when they found him from 2.5 years ago?
Was she made?
And he said to us that she gave him that credit card so he could go and buy her certain things.
But with the other allegations, what was her response to those allegations?
She hadn't even heard them because we had to remove her from the room.
But so she hasn't been questioned about that?
Can you describe her demeanor and his demeanor during questioning?
When she was in the room, he wouldn't say nothing. He wouldn't say one word when she was in the room. But the minute she left the room and we were allowed to talk to a young man, and he asked, he said, "Can I speak with Mr. X by myself? Can I talk to Quanell by myself?" And the detective was like, "Well, can one of us stay in the room?" And he was like, "Okay, but I'll talk to him." When she left, when he first came here, he was holding on to her. He wouldn't talk to nobody. He wouldn't say one word to anybody. Like he was petrified. But the minute he got alone by himself, he slowly calmed down. And he slowly began to talk very coherently and specific details.
This is a man in his mid-20s. People might wonder, why not run away from this situation? Why not get yourself out of it? Did he give you any explanation about that?
I honestly believe, based on what he said to us, she was drugging the hell out this kid. And she convinced him that he was in trouble for initially running away and that law enforcement wanted to arrest him and put him in jail for running away. She had convinced him that all type of agencies were looking for him to put him in jail.
He was in plain sight, according to you, in that he would take her to work.
No, he would go to work with her.
Right. He
would stay at the job with her.
She would take him to work. Where did she work, and where was he doing this work?
It was some kind of security job or something like that. Where they were at, I don't know, but it was a security type job, a nighttime security watch type job.
How did he end up in the church?
We still can't. He admit that he had took mushrooms, okay? And 2 weeks before this, or a week, not even official, whole 2 weeks, her car was stolen, okay? When her car was stolen, she didn't know how the car was stolen, but the keys were in the car. And he stole the car. That's when he got into the accident in the car. And it was him that got into the accident in that car.
What was the story? I mean, this is 8 years he was reported missing. What's the story that he's been? I spoke to neighbors who said he went by Dalt, but he never kind of told anyone what happened. What was his story?
Because she had convinced him that he was in so much trouble for initially running away, and she gave this boy serious drugs to the point to where this boy needs extensive professional help.
How did he stay missing for so long? I mean, 8 years.
He was allowed to visit with some of the neighbors under an assumed name. She believed that after so many years, people had forgotten about the case, and that under an assumed name, and convinced him to use that name, nobody would put two and two together.
But he never told any of the people that he was with what was happening?
Never told anybody what was going on. And let me say this. That young man's body have scars all over it. Slice wounds from here up, from literally his forearm to his wrist. All type of scars on this kid. And he said that she often locked him in the room, that she would give him the drugs and lock him in the room. And there's a whole lot of mental health issues there, I believe, induced because of the drugs that this young man was getting.
At any point during this process today, did you see the mother detained by HPD?
They took her to another room and kept her there for a minute after he had confided with us what was said. I know they were on the phone with the DA's office and their superiors about this case, but I want everybody to know something. This young boy was not kidnapped by some strangers and he got away and they found him. That's not the case here.
You know, this happened on Thursday, and we're nearly a week later, and investigators waited almost a week to speak to him. Hearing the story that you heard, is it a concern that they waited this long to hear from him, given the story that you were told? It seems like he's had 8 years of dealing with this, and now another week.
I was shocked that they have not done more. I was shocked that they had not executed a search warrant on the home. I was shocked by that. And I said, don't you all think you need to get busy and execute a search warrant on that home? And the young man made it crystal clear to us that that's where he was, in the house. But he was living under this fake assumed name.
You think police failed in this situation?
Oh, big time. No doubt about it. Absolutely they did. Because there were several instances where calls were made about him to law enforcement, and they did not properly follow up and follow through based on the history of that address, because she hadn't changed addresses.
Some residents were saying this morning that she brought bags and she was trying to leave. Do we know something about that?
She was trying to do what?
She was trying to leave the house. She was trying to leave the house?
She did leave the house.
So she was trying to escape?
She did leave the house, and she was trying to get away from the house, yes.
Why was she at this hotel?
She said she felt that she was not safe going home because she had been receiving threats.
What now? Is the police investigation over? Where are they?
I can't say at what state their investigation is. But what I can say, it ain't no way in hell that woman shouldn't be locked up immediately. And that boy needs to go to the best drug rehab and best psychological mental health facility that we can find for him. He's a good kid. He's a good kid. That kid was just severely abused.
And what was the mother's reaction when you brought these stories to her?
I couldn't go back in her presence at that point. The police felt it was just best that she and I not speak again. Because I was bitter.
Is she aware of these that the son told you?
Yes, she's aware. And then she goes back in there and tries to tell him, and she don't even know that was recorded. Tell him that you made it all up. That it was just a lie.
You said she would ask him to play daddy. Can you just, she was sexually abused?
She would ask him to play daddy. She told him that he had to be the husband. She would force him to sleep in the bed with her. And he was forced to sleep at times in the beds with no clothes on.
Was anything ever
And
physically done?
yes, but I don't want to talk about the kissing and all of that stuff. And
But he was telling you that there was some sort of sexual action that was happening between
let
him
me
and
ask you a question. If your mother tongue kissing you in the bed with her naked, what the hell is that? I mean, damn, do we have to go that far? That's what happened. This is sick.
Wouldnt, do you
This
think,
ain't normal. This is sick.
Wouldnt, if these allegations are true, and I understand the position you're in, if they are true, how long before you think there's an arrest?
Based on what that young man said to me in front of the detective, I don't see why she's not in handcuffs right now. I don't see why she's not in handcuffs right now. Thank you.
Listen, I know it is early on, but I just have to say it. Law enforcement totally dropped the ball on this one. Harder than I think I've ever seen them drop the ball before. And that is saying a lot because we've seen some questionable cases on this channel. But what in the hell? How was this allowed to go on so long? I am so freaked out right now. Looking through everything that I've seen over the past couple of days about this mother, I knew that she was a complete psychopath. And listen, I know people were getting upset by some of the words that I was using in my videos. But if you know me, I'm not going to bite my tongue. And I'm glad I didn't, because this lady does not deserve any respect. I kind of regret not going harder. I would have gone so much harder if I knew that it was this bad. I was thinking it was just a scam. You know, like she was scamming people for money, which is bad enough. But not only are you using your son to scam people every chance you get, you have your son held captive as basically a sex slave who you made pretend like he was your husband while he was on psychedelics. Whew. Ladies and gentlemen, I have never seen anything like this. And you all know from day one, I called it out. Something's wrong, but I was not prepared for this. I was not prepared for this. And it's killing me inside knowing that it's not over. It's far from over, ladies and gentlemen. No charges as of yet. I gotta say that if Rudy was a woman, if Rudy was a girl that had been put through this type of trauma by a father, I feel like there would have been a different outcome here. I really just need to sit down and gather some of my thoughts about everything that's transpired today. I'll be back with another video shortly. Let me know your thoughts down below. While you're down there, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe, and I will be talking to you all soon.